through my computer. Okay, so can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. What has everybody been working on? So I've received a couple emails this week about how to find the slope of parallel and perpendicular lines, how you find the equation of a parallel or perpendicular line. What other concepts have we been having issues with this week that I can go over to say that again?
Algebra.
What in algebra? What's specific in algebra?
Just the letters and numbers.
Okay,
I've
so
actually got my GED book right here. Give me a sec.
what else have people been working on that they have issues with?
Man, so I jumped back inside the GED into the ebook, and I just
That's
for
what I was doing.
just for fun, just wanted to get like a little refreshment on them undefined.
Okay.
Hold on.
Undefined? Okay.
Yeah, undefined,
That's
and yeah, I just been floating down in the book.
okay. So
Yeah, that's what I was doing to the book.
let me
Your
see if
flashcards help a lot too, Professor Tinsley.
yes, people don't realize I got a lot of stuff out there that people can use, and it's funny because I should be promoting this stuff a little bit more, and I don't because it's just me. But yes, I do have a bunch of flashcards that you can practice to help with your formulas, to help with slope with equation, with helping with your first five. So I do have flashcards. If you go to my website, passgedmath.com, and you'll see them. Now, the first thing I want to talk about undefined, right? So that's one of the first five. So if you've seen my post recently, I posted about the first five. The first five typically come from these areas: undefined, absolute value, greatest common factor and least common multiple, fractions, specifically converting from an improper fraction to a mixed number or a mixed number to an improper fraction, multiplying and dividing decimals, ordering fractions, decimals, percents, and square roots, cube, and cube roots. So remember, out of those areas, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 or 10 areas that you only get 5 questions from. And you cannot use your calculator. Okay. So most people can easily understand undefined, but this is what I want you to think for undefined. You cannot have a denominator of 0, and you cannot have a negative square root. Those are the two instances that what I would declare for the GED classify as undefined. You cannot divide by 0. Your denominator can't be 0. And you cannot have a square root of a negative number. So let's look at some examples. Of course, the GED is not going to be that straightforward, right? They give you a whole entire word problem. They might say the volume of a cylinder is X minus 5 or now let me say volume of let me say 9% volume of a cylinder. Let's say but we can't do that. Hold on, I gotta add 2 more people just came. There we go. They might give you a word problem where that function or that expression will have a denominator of 0. So on the screen, I give you 5 examples in the ebook. This is from my ebook. 5 examples of where you can find the values of X that would make this undefined. So it says find the value for X that makes each function undefined. This may say function. This may say expression. This may say whatever. It might say equation. Doesn't matter. The 2 things you should be thinking about. It cannot be a negative square root. Your denominator can't be 0. So here in this first expression, the denominator is 5 plus X. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
What value of X would make that 0? So the opposite of 5 is what?
-5.
Negative 5. Same thing for the second. You're only looking at the denominator for undefined. So the opposite of -4 is what? Positive 4. Now, this is the example you're most likely to get, where you have 2 instances of X in your denominator. Does everybody see that you have two instances of x in your denominator?
Mhm.
So you have to
Yes.
treat them separately. So what could this value be to make this denominator 0?
That'd be a -3.
No, that would make this
No, not
x
that.
-3.
Yeah.
I said, I
So it have
said,
to
I
be
said -1.
0.
It would have to be 0.
Please.
Why? Because
0.
anything times 0 is
It's
0.
0.
But the second instance of x is in these parentheses. Again, how would that evaluate to be 0? The opposite of +3 is
-3.
-3. So in this case, there would be two values of x that would make this undefined. Let me give you another example. X squared minus 5x minus 6 over x times x minus 3, x plus 5. Now, x plus 5. Now, I'm making these up, of course, but I want you to, how to look at it when you get your exam. Hold on, 2 more people just popped in. Hold on. Where did it go? I apologize. Here we go.
Yeah, no worries.
So again, the key word when you're reading the question, if it say anything about undefined in the question, you know you are looking for either a negative square root or the denominator can't be 0. So in this instance, in this expression that I just wrote, how many instances of x do you have in the denominator?
You got, well, you got 1, 2, 3.
You have 3. So there could be 3 values of x that could make this undefined. This could be what?
Okay, that could be, that, wait a minute.
Correct. 0. Why?
It could be
Because
0.
it doesn't matter what's in the parentheses. That x is outside of parentheses. So if that x is 0, it would make everything else 0.
And that's 0.
What's the opposite of -3?
+3.
+3. And what's the
+3.
opposite of +5?
-5.
-5.
-5. So in this case, there would be 3 values of x that would make this undefined.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Did that make it clear?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Good. All right, let me save it. Again, make sure if you're new to this session tonight, it's a lot of new people this evening. Make sure if you're new tonight, you put your email in the chat. After tonight's session, I put this on YouTube and then I send you a link so you could go over this. A lot of times you cannot understand a concept in 1 hour. So you need to review the videos. So all these GED Math Mondays are recorded and put on my YouTube site. So again, a lot of things you may need may be already there. Okay, so let me save this and let me clear the screen. What is next? What's
So I
another
just wanted to
concept?
say, I've been watching videos to help me with my maths, but it clearly hasn't helped at all. But what you're doing is actually helping me. But I'm understanding a lot better now.
Good. And that's what I try to do. And so that's why I tell people, now I don't know if if you're using the TI-30XS calculator, but I created an eBook for you to be able to use the calculator and solve the most difficult problems in less than 1 minute. So that kind of takes some of the stress off. So as I was as I was speaking to you over the weekend, what I wanted you to understand is once we have a firm foundation on the algebra, on the distributive property, combining like terms, multiplying binomials, the exponent rules. What happens is once you have a good foundation in those algebra skills, it'll make the more difficult concepts because you're knowing how to use the calculator. It'll make it a lot easier. Okay. So what's the next concept you want me to go over?
Oh, combining like terms.
Combining like terms. Okay. Okay, combining like terms. I'm just going to make, again, I'm just making up terms. I'm just making these up. So I'm going to go
My dad did download the calculator for free because we couldn't find the TI-30XS calculator.
Okay, so what I also will send you is a link. There is one link that I found that you has the TI-30XS calculator online. No, let me do a minus. Let me do a minus.
Because my dad works in IT, so easier for him.
Okay, so I have an expression here. This is an expression. It's because I don't have an equal sign. It's not an equation. It's an expression. So minus 5x squared plus 4x to the third, or 4x cubed, minus 3xy plus 7xy minus 7x squared. So my first question to you is, what are the like terms in this example?
Negative 3xy plus 7xy.
Perfect.
And then, yeah, but.
Perfect. What else?
And then I'm guessing that we're gonna do plus 4x to the third power plus or plus 7x squared or minus 7x squared.
Okay, so I see where you're making your mistake. Remember, we are looking at the variables first. So that's how you can describe a like term. These both have xy. That's why these are like terms. Okay, these are like terms. 4x to the third and 7x squared are not like terms. We're looking at the variable. So we're looking for x squared. These are like terms.
Okay, okay.
Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
I
Once you
understand.
see those variables are the same. Now, they could be out of order. For example, sometimes, not too much on the GED, but the task test, and sometimes on the high set, they'll reverse them. They'll say like minus 5xy plus 7yx. Remember, when you multiply, you can multiply in any order. So this is really the same as 7xy. So these are still like terms. So I just wanted to explain that to you fairly quickly before I look at this example above. So remember, identifying like terms goes by the variables.
So
Okay?
so it doesn't matter about the exponent, like how we got negative 5x squared to it was negative 7x second power. So it don't matter. Like they still are like terms because of the variable.
Exactly. So now we look at the coefficients. The coefficient is just a fancy word for the number in front of the variable. So it's minus 5 and minus 7. So then we combine those two. Minus 7 and minus 5 minus 7. What is minus 5 minus 7?
It's negative 12.
Negative 12x squared.
X squared, yes.
We look at minus 3xy plus 7xy. We look at the coefficients. Minus 3 plus 7. What is 7 minus 3?
It's 4.
It's 4. So remember,
4xy.
so plus 4xy. This is how you would simplify that expression by combining like terms.
Yeah.
So they can get more difficult than that. For example, let me change my color and give you an example.
They be getting real jiggy, man. So let's get like a hard one, something that you know.
They're all easy. Remember, you are looking at the variable. They are all easy. If you say it to yourself it's hard, it's going to be hard. Okay, let's look at this example. I made these up, but the key, x squared y, they have the same variable. They are now like terms. You now took the coefficients. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. So you have negative 3 x squared y. That's all it is to combine like terms. It is not hard at all. Okay, Mr. Tinsley, I have problems.
Okay, Mr. Tinsley.
ABC, they are the same. These are now like terms. Minus 7 plus 8 is 1.
It's 1.
But we don't use the 1. So even though our answer is 1 ABC, this is just ABC.
That's another thing too. Like whenever I'd be in that situation, it's like I wouldn't necessarily know what to do whenever I get a 0 or a 1 on them situations. Like you just seen this there.
But
And
watch this. I'm gonna make it easy for you. Watch this. I'm gonna make it easy for you. Watch this. So let me save this. Let me clear it. So what you said was you don't know what to do. You don't know if it's 0 or 1, right? So oops. I'm gonna use ABC again. I'm gonna use the variables ABC, right? If the coefficient was 0, what's 0 times anything?
0.
So it can't be 0. That's how you know it's 1, because 1 times anything is itself. 8 times 1 is 8. ABC times 1 is ABC. XY times 1 is XY. You don't see that 1. So when they write an expression where the coefficient is 1, you will not see the 1. But you have to know that if you don't see a coefficient, that's a 1. Does everybody understand that?
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, we learning tonight, huh? I see.
Okay.
I can smell the smoke from them brains.
Okay.
We are learning tonight.
Okay, bad. So basically, one and B and A. Okay, cool.
Got me?
If there's a coefficient, it just has to be. You really ain't got to put nothing in. Got to be 1.
There you go. Has to be 1. What's next? What's next for me? What is another concept that we want to discuss that we are not clear about?
Ladies,
Perpendicular lines.
Okay.
Perpendicular lines. Okay. Perpendicular lines. First of all, can somebody tell me what a perpendicular line is? That's first. We got to know what a
It's a 90-degree angle.
Just so, but what must happen to form a 90-degree angle?
I thought it was 70 degrees.
So perpendicular lines
They would have to intersect.
are 2 lines that intersect and form a 90-degree angle.
90-degree angle.
That's very important for you to understand. Perpendicular lines are 2 lines that intersect and form a 90-degree angle. Okay, so now you talked about perpendicular, but let's also talk about parallel lines, since we're talking about it here.
Parallel is equal distance apart.
They do not have to be equal distance apart.
They have the same slope.
They do have the same slope, but the definition
There
of
are 2
parallel
lines that
lines,
never touch.
they will never intersect. Lines plural, that will never. There's only a few instances in math where you could say always or never. Well, this is one of them. Parallel lines are lines that will never intersect or cross. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
And because they will never intersect, someone else also said, I don't know who said it, but parallel lines have the same slope. And that's the reason why they have the same slope, because that's why they never cross, because they have the same slope. Now, Miss Davis, so I see you joined us this evening. Let's everyone give Miss Davis a hand. She finished her math exam.
Oh, man.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Are you there? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you explain to your classmates and your peers here, how long has your journey been? What did people tell you before you met me?
Oh my gosh. They said I will never get my GED. And it was like, it was just heartbroken. And then when I met Mr. Tinley, I'm like, oh God, Mr. Tinley, please help me. And Mr. Tinley helped me. And I'm telling you, I'm very happy.
That's right.
Yeah. So the reason why I asked her.
So you all can do it. You all can do it.
So was it difficult?
No.
So the reason why I asked her to say something is because she didn't give you the whole spiel. She was in adult education classes.
Yes.
She had tutors, and they had to explain. They told her that she would have trouble passing. She said, Mr. Tinsley, I came to your GED Math Mondays, and I think you can help me. And she called me offline. I said, listen, I can help you. What I need from you, I need you to work hard. If you work hard and do what I asked you, and that's what she did. Any assignment I gave her, she did. Even if she made mistakes, she did what I asked her. She worked hard. Now, what she didn't do, though, she didn't tell me she was taking her exam, because usually I have people call me. So she scheduled her exam, didn't tell me, and then she called me after she passed, and she was so excited to hear her voice, to hear the tears in her eyes, and she tell me that not only did she pass math, that she finished and completed her GED. Was just a happy moment for me, even though I've not met any of you, in person. I just felt the joy when she was telling me that she finally passed, and I could hear the tears of joy. It was just a very profound moment for me, and I thank you for allowing me to help you.
Yes, Mr. Tinley.
Man,
the
that's
reason
great,
why I
man.
didn't want to tell you was I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to fail again. I didn't want to fail again.
How
So
many
I said,
times did you take the exam?
I take it like 3 or 4, about 4 times. So
Okay.
I said, I'm not going to let Mr. Tinley know, because if I fail, he won't know.
Well, listen, but she passed. So again, and this is a common theme for people that I help. Fail 4 times, 7 times. I had a person that failed 17 times. Listen to what I'm telling you. I have a free math course. I have the eBook. What I need from you is sweat and tears. I need you working hard. If all I need is that's the main ingredient. I don't care what level you're starting at. I just need hard work, and we can progress at your pace and make sure you pass the exam. Again, I take pride in saying since 2015, this is 2024, so we're talking about 9 years. Anybody who I've helped that put effort in has not failed the exam. They have passed it. Every single person. Not 90%, not 95, not 98, 100%. Every single person had passed the exam. And that's why you're here. I want to help you pass that exam. I want to help you move to that next step. So let's get back to what we were talking about. Thank you, Ms. Davis, for
congratulations, Ms. Davis, once again,
yes.
man.
So perpendicular lines.
So in 2022, my tutors were supposed to help me pass my maths exam. They said, you'll be done by the end of the year. And then when I moved here, I asked for help, and they're like, go screw yourself. You're on your own now.
Well, guess what? You see how many people are here? You're not on your own anymore. I'm here to help you. You're not on your own anymore. So don't worry. Okay?
But I promise to work really hard.
Good. So perpendicular lines are 2 lines that form a 90-degree angle. What does a 90-degree angle look like? It looks like an L. If you look around your house, if you look at the walls, if you look at the table, if you look at anything with a firm foundation, it has a 90-degree angle. So that's how you can remember the L in a little square box in the corner.
I remember.
Okay. So now let's look at this. Let's look at this. Parallel and perpendicular lines. Let me find. I was just working with this with a young lady over the weekend, so it should be still open. Now I also downloaded every basketball coach on the East Coast for my son, but
that's right. That's right.
So let's look at these equations. We have 4 equations here. Okay, so for 2 of them, it says find the slope of a line perpendicular. For 2 of them, it says find the slope that's parallel. So first of all, does anybody know what form of linear equation this is?
Slope-intercept form.
This is slope-intercept form.
Yeah.
You must know the difference. Slope-intercept form. That form is y equal mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. So right now, you might not even know what slope is. You might not even know what y-intercept means. But what you do know is the variable m stands for slope. The variable b, when we're talking about linear equations in slope-intercept form, stands for y-intercept. So all we have to do to find the slope in the y-intercept is very, very easy. And let me show you. And you might be saying, Mr. Tinsley, it's not easy. I've been working with, because a lot of people get disturbed and upset when I use the word easy. Let me explain something to you. No matter what the task is, no matter what the concept is, if you practice enough, it will become easy. Right now, it may not be easy, but I'm going to show you the steps that makes it easy. So now, mx plus b, what is in front of the x?
The slope.
And that's what?
2/3.
That easy. The slope is 2/3. What is my y-intercept?
-2.
-2. So my y-intercept, remember, intercept means to cross. The y-axis is my vertical axis. So y-intercept means where my line crosses the y-axis. So watch this. I'm going to draw a graph from this equation in 5 seconds with the two things I know. Watch this. You're not going to believe it. I know you're not going to believe it. You're going to say, no, you can't.
That's just too easy.
And I'm telling you,
it's
yes,
too
you can.
easy.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. I'm going to try to show you the way to make it easy for you. So you can look at this video over and over again. You can practice over and over again until you got it, till you can say it's easy. So let me move to a blank page first, because I really want to show you something.
And I wonder why they put, like, the wise numbers, so like the -5, the -1, -2, all the way on the opposite side.
I'm about to show you.
Because X comes first.
No, it has nothing to do with it.
All
I'm
right,
gonna show you. Watch this. So this is the coordinate plane. I'm making this up right now. I'm drawing freehand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So my equation was y equal 2/3 x minus 2. So my y-intercept, this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. The first thing I'm going to graph is my y-intercept, because I know where that point is. Right on the y-axis at -2, right there. That's easy. Okay, how many points do you need to make a line?
You need 2.
You need at least 2. So now I have 1 point. I need my second one. The slope means, this is what the slope means. Rise over run. From this point, I'm going to go up 2. Let me change my color to red so you can see it. I'm going to go up 2. Let me find my arrow. I'm going to go up 2 and over 3. And now I have my second point. That's it.
Do we do it this way every single time we handling problems like this?
Every single time. So I got my second point here, and then I connect those lines. I now graph that equation, y equal 2/3 x minus 2.
So on the GED, is it going to be like a real weird looking slope intercept form problem? Or
first of all, you're going 5 steps ahead.
Okay.
What I need you to understand is, can I identify this equation as slope intercept form? Right. If I can I identify the slope? Can I identify the y-intercept? That's all I need you to understand tonight. Remember, it's a process. You don't get in the car and get on the interstate highway.
Right.
When you're learning to drive, do you?
Nope.
No.
You learn to get your feet together with the gas and the brake, right?
And
then you go slow, right? Then you drive around the corner or drive up the street, right? Then you drive it around 5 times, right? Then when you get the nerve after doing this for days or weeks, then you get the courage to get on the highway, right? So what we have to understand is we have to understand the small steps first. Don't jump to the end. Oh my God, what's the equation on the GED? No, that's jumping to the end. We need to understand step by step. We don't go from the first step to the last step when we're walking upstairs, do we?
Nope.
And you don't go from the top step to the bottom step and without going by steps, right?
Nope.
What happens when you skip steps? You trip and you fall. So we can't worry about the end. We got to step our way through. Everybody understand that?
Understood.
Yes.
Good. So let's go back.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. I wish I had a song in my head right now. I would sing to you, but I don't. So let me go back to that review sheet. And again,
you do not want to hear my dad saying,
Say that again.
You do not want to hear my dad sing.
I do not. I don't know. He might be a good singer.
No, he's dreadful.
So remember, slope-intercept form. Mr. Tinsley, why do you keep saying it? Mr. Tinsley, why do you keep writing it all the time? Why do you think I keep saying it, and why do you think I keep writing it?
To help us understand it and get it stuck in our mind.
So you can
commit it. So you can commit it to your memory, so it sticks in your mind. So we said the slope of this line is 2/3. We said the y-intercept is -2. Now, what did we say about parallel lines? We said parallel lines have the same slope. Parallel lines have the same slope.
If you think of the word parallel, the two L's after the second A, it's basically telling you what it is, the word parallel.
I don't know about that, but if that's the way you want to remember it, you can. If that's the thing that hits your mind and say parallel, two L's, I know that's great. That's good. I never used it that way, but that's fine. Everybody learns differently. But watch this. Watch this. So if my slope is 2/3, what's the slope of any line that's parallel to it?
It's the same.
Which is what?
2/3.
2/3. So that means, let me change my color to red. This equation here, y equal 2/3 x minus 5 is parallel to 2/3 x minus 2. Anything parallel to each other has the same slope. They should look alike at the beginning. Y equal 2/3 x minus 2. Y equal 2/3 x minus 5. Y equal 2/3 x plus 10. Those are all lines that are parallel to y equal 2/3 x minus 2. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's look at this one. Y equal mx plus b. What is the slope of this line?
The slope for
14.
9/5.
9/5. What's the y-intercept?
-5.
-5. What's the slope of any line that's parallel to this line?
The same.
Which is what?
9/5.
Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Run it back one more time.
What do you want me to run back? So the
Hold on,
slope
wait.
is 9/5. The slope of any parallel line is 9/5.
Okay, it's parallel, same thing, parallel.
So remember, understand what I'm doing. I'm saying the vocabulary, right? The slope of this line is 9/5. The slope of any line that's parallel to this line is 9/5. I'm saying the word. So when you're if you notice, I'm saying it, I'm writing it, I'm doing it. We want multiple ways to commit this to memory. Okay, now let's go. So now let me go down here and let's go to perpendicular. Again, let me go down to perpendicular. So now this time though, we're going to do 3 things. Again, is number 15 in slope intercept form?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Y equal mx plus b. So what Rel said the other day, he said, Mr. Tinsley, what if we have something like this? Hold on, what just happened to my pencil? Y plus 2 equal minus 1/2 x. Is that in slope intercept form?
No.
No, it is not.
Not at all.
Can we make it appear to be in slope intercept form?
We could.
How do we get y by itself? What do we need to get rid of?
We gotta get rid of that 2.
The plus 2. How do we get rid of plus 2?
Subtract it on both sides.
Subtract 2 on both sides. Now, bring down my y. My 2's cancel. I bring down my equal. I bring down my minus 1/2 x. I bring down my minus 2. Is it in slope intercept now?
Yes.
What is my slope?
-1/2.
-1/2. What's my y-intercept?
-2.
Stop playing.
Cause see also, Tenzi, you see like where I would get caught up too as well with these is I would subtract 2 from that -1/2 instead of swinging it around on the opposite side.
Again, that's because you're just doing. You're trying to remember. listen to what I just said. Listen, I want you to listen to what I just said. So let me save this. Let me undo it. And as I say it, I need you to listen, because this is why you say it over and over again. So this is the original. Oops, I went too far. Hold on. Hold on. So listen. Is y by itself?
Yes.
No. This is equation now. Is y by itself?
Oh.
No.
No.
How do you know y is not by itself? Because when y is by itself, it should say y equal.
Equals, yeah, because this say y
So
plus.
if I want to get y by itself, it has nothing to do with the minus 1/2 x. I'm not even looking at that side of the equation. I'm looking for the side that has the y. So to get y by itself, there's one other term on that left side, plus 2. That's the one I want to get rid of. That's how you determine what you want to get rid of. You got to ask yourself, what variable am I trying to solve for? If you were trying to solve for x, then you would have to do something with that minus 1/2. That's not what we're talking about. We're trying to solve for y. So in order to get y by itself, I need to get rid of plus 2. What's the opposite of adding 2? Subtracting 2. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. I combine my equations. I bring down my y. My 2's cancel. I bring down my equal. I bring down my minus 1/2 x. I bring down my minus 2. Bam! That's how you should be walking through an algebraic equation every time you solve one. So let's get back. Let me clear it again. And again, if you don't understand, you're going to have this video at the end of the night that you can watch to your heart's content. You can watch it on Tuesday morning. You can watch it on Tuesday afternoon. You can watch it on Wednesday evening. You can watch it on Thursday while you're at work on your phone. What you have to understand is it takes that dedication to say, let me look at this until I understand it. Now, I understand it. Let me go practice. Once I understand the computation, let me apply it. Let me look at some word problems. There are steps. We're not jumping to the end to the GED questions. So this is slope-intercept form. What is the slope of this equation?
That's perpendicular.
No. This is,
you just want the slope, negative 1/2.
This equation. Negative 1/2.
Negative 1/2, yes.
The y-intercept is what?
Is -2.
-2. What is the slope of any line that's parallel to this line?
This one, negative 1/2.
Negative 1/2. So we have that down. I am so glad you are here tonight, because I'm about to show you how easy it is to find the slope of the perpendicular. I want you to take the negative inverse. Oh my goodness, Mr. Tinsley. I don't work for NASA. I'm not an engineer. What does the negative inverse mean? I'm going to make it simple for you. Change the sign. Can everybody change the sign? The opposite of positive is what?
Negative.
The opposite of negative is what?
Positive.
That's all I mean by changing the sign. And flip. So, to find the slope of the perpendicular, I'm going to change the sign and I'm going to flip. So negative 1/2 is negative, correct? The opposite of negative is what? Positive. I'm going to flip the fraction 1/2. If I flip the fraction 1/2, that becomes what?
2/1.
2/1. 2/1 reduces to what?
2.
2. So the slope of the perpendicular will be 2. So that means your equation of the perpendicular line must begin like this. Y equal 2x something. It could be -5. It could be 2x plus 3. All I know is that slope is 2. That's the coefficient in front of my x. Stop playing. Now, I'm going to prove it to you. Because sometimes it can't just be enough to write it, to say it, to do it. Now I'm going to show you. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to show you. -1/2 x minus 2. Let me save this. Let me clear it. And let me go to a program that I love. Okay? It's called Desmos. It's an online graphing calculator. Hold on. Let me get my pencil. Desmos. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. So the first equation was y equal minus 1/2 x minus 2, correct?
Yeah.
The second equation that's supposed to be, so now I'm going to put another one, y equal minus 1/2 x plus 5. So you can see that those are parallel lines. They never cross. Look at that. They never cross forever because why their slopes are the same. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a third equation where the slope is positive 2. And you should see a perpendicular line. Look at that. Look at that. I just showed you. Look at that 90-degree angle on both of them.
Yeah, it crossed it. Yeah.
So not only did we
60
say it,
degrees.
not only did we write it, not only did we solve it, now you see it. And all this will be in the video. You'll be able to watch over and over and over again. Parallel and perpendicular. Okay, Mr. Tinsley. I understand that. That wasn't too hard, Mr. Tinsley, but let's try one more before we move into a problem. Because that's what happens to people. They understand it, they remember it, then they get to the GED exam, and the GED exam gives you 2 to 3 paragraphs of some information. You get lost in the sauce. You scream and holler, say, oh my God, I can't do it. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
That's what happens.
Right.
So let's look at this. Let's do one more before we go to a GED example. So, number 16. What is the slope of number 16?
Negative x.
What number? It's not
It's
a
1.
negative 1. What's the y-intercept?
-1.
If you notice, if they're talking about slope, Mr. Tinsley, why do you keep asking about the y-intercept? Because when you see a linear equation in slope-intercept form, I need you to be able to say the slope of y-intercept. I need to come off your tongue, just like that. That's what, and that only happens if you're doing it every time you see a linear equation. We don't even need the y-intercept right now, but I keep saying it so you know it. Understand that. So the slope of any line that's parallel to this line would be what?
-1.
-1. The slope of any line that's perpendicular would be what?
Well, we're changing it, right? So it's going to be 1.
+1.
Positive
Okay.
1.
I want to show you something. I want to show you something. So before we move to a word problem, we're going to go back to my ebook real quick because I want to see if you really understand what I am saying. I need to see, do you understand it? So tonight, what you should be doing is going to my math course to say, where's my book at? Where are you? I just lost you. Where did you go? I think I lost it. Okay, I'm gonna have to make up one. I have so many things open. I'm sorry. I either I closed it or I lost it. See,
No worries.
That's
Take
what
your time.
happens when you have 58 tabs open.
Wow.
Yeah, I need to close all the tabs on my computer because I've got about 70 open.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. So this is an equation. This is parallel. This is perpendicular.
Okay.
If my equation was y equal 4x minus 5, what is my slope?
4.
4. What's my y-intercept?
-5.
-5. What is the slope of a line that's parallel to this line?
4.
4. So an example of this equation would be y equal 4x plus 10.
Yeah.
Y equal 4x. Y equal 4x plus 9/4. It does not matter what the y-intercept is. What makes something parallel is that slopes are the same. So all of these have the slope that's 4. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Now, what would be the slope of the perpendicular, though? If the slope is 4, how do you flip 4?
You're going to have -1/4.
Okay, how did you get, so you change the sign.
Okay.
So this is positive. So if the slope is 4, You said change it to negative, right?
Yes.
Because we know how to do that. Change the sign. That's easy. How did you get 1/4 though?
Because if it's 4/1.
Because 4 as an improper
The improper
fraction is the
fraction,
same
correct.
as 4/1.
Over 1, yeah.
That's why a lot of students don't know how to find the slope of a perpendicular line when you're given a whole number. To change any whole number to an improper fraction, you just put it over 1. So now when we flip it, we get 1/4. So the slope of any line that's perpendicular will be -1/4. Well, what type of equation? Give me an example of equation that has a slope of -1/4.
Oh. Oh.
You mean write it out?
No, tell me. Whatever it is. Give me an example of an equation that has the slope of -1/4.
I'm not understanding what you're asking. I don't. That's just one.
So listen to me carefully.
Okay.
Give me an example of an equation that has the slope of -1/4.
So you could just say -1/4.
All equations must start with what?
One.
Y equals -1/4 x plus anything 10. Okay.
10. It could be anything.
Anything.
Y equal -1/4 x minus 5.
Yeah.
Again, we are looking at the slope. That's what makes something parallel or perpendicular. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what you should do tonight is either go to my math course or go to your ebook, go to the section on parallel and perpendicular lines, and make sure you can find the slope of the equation. So remember, we did two things. First we found the slope of the equation, then we found the slope of the parallel. First we found the slope of the equation, then we found the slope of the perpendicular. Does everybody understand that?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, let's go look at a GED example. Let's go look at a GED example. Because the GED doesn't make it that simple, does it?
No, they don't.
No,
they do
quite
not.
difficult.
So let's look at an example. Let's find one. Perpendicular. Come on, where are you? There we go. There we go. Oh, Mr. Tinsley, I've never seen an equation look like that. You just said slope-intercept form. The two equations, the two forms of equation, actually it's more than two forms, of course. There is standard form, slope-intercept form, and point-slope form. Okay. What I need you to understand are two forms, slope-intercept form and standard form. Can anybody tell me what standard form is?
AX plus BY equals C.
AX. Boy, I tell you, you are learning from Mr. Tinsley, ain't you? I love it. Can't get me excited like that. Watch this. AX plus BY equals C. If you notice, this form fits the equation that we're looking at now. So if you would, again, math is about patterns. A is what's in front of the X. B is what's in front of the Y. C is all by itself. So what is A in this equation?
It's 5.
5. What is B in this standard form of a linear equation?
It's -2.
-2. What is C in this standard form of a linear equation?
1.
Does everybody understand how we identify those three coefficients? Let me know if you are having trouble identifying A, B, and C. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to give you the easy way to find the slope of this line. You won't see this. You probably haven't seen it. I'm going to give it to you the easy way. To find the slope, you take the opposite of A and put it over B. So if A is 5, what is the opposite of plus 5?
-5.
-5. What is B?
-2.
Negative
2.
2 negatives make a what?
Positive.
So the slope of this line is what?
It's 5/2.
5/2. But that's not what they're asking. So remember, it's 2 steps to find a line that's perpendicular. First, we must find the slope of that line. So the slope of that line was 5/2. How do we find the slope of the perpendicular?
We have to flip it, change the sign.
So what sign is 5/2?
2/5.
Yeah, it's gonna be, yeah. Well, she can go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let her do it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Megan.
All right, it's 2/5.
What is the sign though?
Negative.
Negative. Remember, the slope of 5/2 is positive, so that means the slope of the perpendicular must be negative. It must change the sign. Negative, then flip. 2/5. So the slope of the perpendicular is negative 2/5.
Okay.
If you have taken the GED exam, if you have taken the practice exam, and you got parallel and perpendicular wrong, it should be no more. It should be no more. Why? Because tonight, what are we going to do? We're going to understand each step of the way. We're going to go into the GED math course. We're going to practice, right? And then we're going to make sure we got it. Now, on my math course is going to be harder than the GED. So I'm going to mix up the equations. I'm going to shuffle them up. I'm going to give you stuff where you have to critically think. Once you're able to do that, I'm going to help prepare you. Listen, I had a young man. I don't know if I didn't post it yet. He went on my YouTube channel. He said, Mr. Tinsley, I took all of your advice. He was from Canada. He failed the test 7 times. Well, 6 times or any other times. Anyway, what did he say? I finished 40 minutes early. He said, I was done, checked my whole exam, reviewed all the ones I skipped, and still was finished 40 minutes early. What I want you to do is, I want you to go home tonight, and I want you to say to yourself, slope-intercept form, y = mx plus b, m is my slope, b is my y-intercept. Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, there's the negative inverse, change the sign and flip, and practice. Then in 2 days, you will never have a problem finding the slope of a parallel or perpendicular line, because then you'll know it. Now, I hate usually a lot of times I go over the time. I have to take my mom to go see my dad in the hospital. Yeah. Listen, but let me say this. Thank you tonight for letting me have this class so I could get myself together emotionally. So I appreciate it. I'm thankful for all the questions. I'm thankful for all the people that's here tonight. I mean, it literally, I think it was like 8 or 10, 8, 4, hold on, 4, 8, 6, 10, 12 people. 12 people are here tonight. So I'm glad that you trust me to help you pass your math exam. I probably won't have the YouTube video up tonight. I apologize about that, but I will have it up by tomorrow because I'll probably be at the hospital tonight. But I will have the up tomorrow. And if you don't, if you're new, make sure you put your email in the chat. But also, make sure you send me an email requesting access to my math course. It's no cost. It's free. Okay? Everybody have a wonderful night.
You too. My prayers, Mr. Tinsley.
Thank you.
Yes, mine too. Yep, bye-bye.